Shadiversity is a guy on the internet. We're having a bunch of Shad week. It's Shad week. It really just is. We're just putting out a bunch of fucking banger content that I absolutely have to fucking look over. If you guys don't know, just to keep you caught up on it, Shadiversity is somebody we talk about on this channel all the fucking time. He put out his a fucking choreographed fight scene movie a week ago. It was horrible. My video on that is out. About 2 or 3 days after that, he released another video, which is my channel is dying for the second time this year. I just don't think I can keep it up. Okay, whatever the fuck. Now he's putting out one called Our Short Film Got Exposed. And this is, without further ado, them talking about him and the guy, I guess, that was in it, talking about their mentality and whatever the fuck was going on when they wanted to put the thing together. I have no idea. I heard it's a bunch of sweeping, but I'm excited. SMJ, 12 years as Shad, dude. Let me fucking die. You boy right there. Are you Shad Brooks? Yes, sir. Is that your real name? Fucking save him. I gotta save him from his own sword fighting game. The other guy, fucking old Milk does the what's his name? That's the fucking the slaver. He's hold on now. That's my Shad. Get back here. Go on. He's a free man. Trying to take him back to the foot. Oh my god, dude. They sit him in a car with some chicken tendies and some fucking honey mustard. He's just crying. Motherfuck. Oxpecker, $5. We got to consistently harp at people's subconscious refusal to acknowledge concepts of moral ambiguity and multipolarity. That's way too smart of a comment for $5. That's just a good comment. Yeah, true. Basically, don't be black or white about your moral prescriptions. That's why I try not to make moral prescriptions if I can here. I mean, there's some things that are obviously like, if it's harm-based, that's where I try to go to, but not I feel. I like to keep I feel situations out of it. Because, no one's ever really on the same page. And a lot of people do try to just make you morality black and white. And then you say that and they get fucking all excited. They're like, this is my moment. I've been having shower conversations with myself for 7 hours over the last fucking 2 weeks about what I'm going to say to somebody when they say morality's not black and white. What about the worst thing I've ever thought of? This is my example. What if there were 10,000 unprivileged dwarves from the worst country I've ever imagined, and I dropped them out of a plane into a blender the size of Utah, and they all turned into mush, and then we buried that mush in unsanctified ground that wasn't part of their native. Would you think that was morally black or white or morally gray? Like, dude, adults are talking. What if Lex Luthor beat Superman and blew the sun up and destroyed the world? Would that be morally white or morally black? Why you gotta be black?
Shadiversity.
Greetings, I'm Shad.
Greetings, I'm Tarth.
And today we are doing our own commentary kind of reaction to the short film that we recently made.
Yep.
Yeah, the collaboration between myself and Tarth's channel Screen Tested for the Crown.
Yep.
Is it big with the $4.99 super chat?
We are really interested to see what people's reactions are. But we wanted to do this commentary to give some behind-the-scenes context of.
Thank you. Just $5. Thank you.
And all, because there's some really interesting things that I think you guys might find fascinating about this. And so some of the first stuff I feel is worth talking about before we even start reacting to the moments is the setup for the day. All right. So this was all.
Oh, so you believe in gray morality? Well, tell me this. Was the American slave trade morally black or morally white? Boom, 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 boom. Doo-doo-doo. I gotta bust that out. If I ever get into a dumb fuck argument with a racist thing, you know, I am gonna fucking bring that out. Not because I think it's rhetorically valuable, just because I want to see how people react to that. I feel like if you hit the right people with that question, and you're gonna see them glaze over, and all the fucking Sherlock on BBC at Sherlock on BBC at 9. All those little fucking mathematics symbols come up. Trying to figure it the fuck out.
This was all done in one day.
Roughly about like 6 hours.
6 hours, yes.
When you take away all the time it took to get us out there and start pressing record on cameras to do stuff, about 6 hours and about 2 hours and 10 minutes of choreography, swinging swords, fighting stuff.
So that's important. So there was slow-mo shots and setup shots and setting up the equipment and everything. But when we actually got to start to record the fighting content, we had 2 hours basically to get it all done.
Well, we didn't start until about 2:30, which is really late in the day. We were in full armor, and because I changed the stupidly.
It's not that late in the day. It's not that late in the day. Shooting. This is awesome. If you're a movie maker, if you just listen to the production of any film production, just like literally watch one behind the scenes. Film production, when you're in shooting is fucking time is money. Shooting days start at 5 a.m. For the talent, it starts at 5 a.m. The shooting day for the grips, the fucking production guys, starts however fucking far back it takes to get the shit set up, but usually it's the day before, right? Because you want everything ready and then you go. You showed up at 2:30 to start shooting? Where the sun moves. We showed up and then we did choreography. Is hilarious. Shad, let me tell you the secret. I'll tell you the secret. Here's what you do. Have a series of every day, shoot a simpler video, live stream yourself practicing sword fighting and choreography in order to get ready for a shoot. You have the cameras, you have the set for it, and have your people come in, and every day you do choreography and read donos. You'll make a fuckload of money, you'll have daily content, and then it won't look like shit when you fucking finally film it.
I changed the location on the day because I thought it would look better, and I think it did look better in the final product. But because of that,
you get there at 4 a.m. I forgot to finish that statement. You leave well after it probably gets dark, because every part of the day is for shooting different things, right? You try to get everything together, and like you stay until it's done. Fucking, especially if there's any indoor scenes, you know what I mean? You're fucking cooked. If it's a night shoot in the summer.
Was in different spots than we originally had planned, and the sun was basically in our face for hours on end, and it was we
got fried. I was like peeling skin and everything, but I was willing to sacrifice it.
Yes, but those things kind of compound those issues. So we got a lot more tired than we should have, but we're also we didn't have as much time as we should have.
Now, the reason why
this is so fucking awesome watching them discover the reasons why Hollywood does everything that happens. We also answered the question of whether or not they had any sun shading.
Time frame that we had is significant is because, look, in my maybe not so humble opinion, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it looks friggin' great.
I'm a little bit different, but I've done a couple of these, and I wanted more, but that's just maybe my standards, things for me personally. But in terms of like, I think it's all right.
Well, when you compare it to many of the sword fights we have reacted to on this channel, and I've done fight scene autopsies and stuff.
You know, if you would have had more DEI in your cast, people might not have gotten sunburned.
With how unbelievably crap some of them are, compared to what we were able to make in 2 hours. I want people to, like, again, we choreographed it as we filmed.
Hollywood films first off.
If you're not watching the screen, you have to. I'm so sorry. I'll give you, like, you don't have to watch this, like, literally stare at the screen the entire time. But please, if you're watching this in the video afterwards, I know you like to listen to stuff. This is your warning that you have to give me 20 seconds of your time, or that you'll have to rewind later and come back to this part to see the most wackadoo shit you'll have ever experienced. It's them doing Charlie Chaplin high speed. They sped it up, and then I have it sped up so it looks like a Charlie Chaplin sword fight unironically 10 times better than anything that they could have done.
Stuff like that, with how unbelievably crap some of them are compared to what we were able to make.
Hold on, I gotta fucking mute it. I can't think of the Benny Hill song right off the fucking rip. God fucking damn it.
Don't stress off.
Oh yeah, a random black lady would be funny. That would actually be cracked, dude. The most like DEI lady. Just give me a fucking lady. Tall, in shape, black lady, bald as fuck, with like egregious, aggressive face makeup on. Right? Doing some just say, Shad, what do you think a black lady would do to fight? And then let her do that, and I would still be 10 times more fascinated trying to pick that apart than just watching him in general. We also know why they took the helmets off. They were fucking exhausted. They were tired as fuck. They found out what everybody in Hollywood finds out. Actually, shooting a scene outside where you have to do the same stunt 15 times in a row while wearing a medal on your head is a little onerous.
I want to make this very clear. For fight scenes that you see in movies, those shots can take months with teams of people and hundreds of thousands of dollars working on that. However, the context there is, I do think we could have done better if we had more time and energy.
That's the other, because 2 hours, I think we made something that I think looks really, really good and is actually better than a lot of current Star Wars, and Hollywood stuff, right? And they have a massive budget and months. And how were we able to achieve that? A couple of things, which gives us a big advantage. One, we know how to use swords. I can't really stress that enough. How beneficial that
maybe
is.
A drag queen. Just get Bob the drag queen out there.
Where it's got the right commitment, the right aggression, the right speed, and you actually land the strikes and there's not slip-ups and everything like that. And because of that, we were able to quickly go through, all right, let's do a 4-beat sequence, maybe a 4-beat 2-beat, and we go, let's work out the moves here. And after maybe 1 or 2 setups, we're ready to almost go full commitment, bang, 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 and then we caught the shot. So again, we were only able to do that because we were very proficient with the swords already. There's a lot of actors who come into it and they don't know how to use a sword at all.
This is true, but there's also an extra added benefit that usually gets left out of these things, is that me and Nathan have done this enough that we know how to do this in a way where we can capture that a lot more efficiently than if we were just trying for the first time.
Yeah.
That is a big caveat, because when we get on, you saw it out on the day, we go, all right, now it's slow-mo of this over here.
It was great. It was really efficient.
Getting through things.
Can you guys even understand this? The person that just donoed $2.69 said it needs to be played at 2 times speed, but I can't hear it, but I know what they're saying. It's just sweeping.
And something that yourself and Nathan did really well, from my perspective, was the camera work.
Yes, the camera work was very good.
Bob the drag queen would go crazy. Did I say that out loud, or did I just think it? Because if I just thought it, that was kismet. Because that's who the first person I thought of. Because I know they would take that offer in a heartbeat. Like Bob the drag queen, some fucking maybe a little racist fucking Australian guy needs a tall bald black lady for a fight choreography scene. Okay.
Actually, just before we get into it, Shad convinced me to release a full behind-the-scenes video of this on my channel. If you want, I would really hope you go watch it.
Fuck. What you got?
To release a full behind-the-scenes video of this on my channel. If you want.
Shh. What is that? Computer. Damn it! I can't enhance. Computer enhance. How the fuck do you zoom in on this? Can you not zoom in? Of course you can't zoom in. So what has he got here? Is that? God, maybe they have a better view later. I think I see a monitor. I think that's a hood. That's a monitor, right? You know, light. There's no way they're putting a fucking light that small on top of it. So that has to be a monitor screen. You can see the plug that's going in here. This is a camera body. You got a little. This is a solid tripod. They do have a fluid tripod that makes you move real nice and smooth. And then this big black thing right here is probably a Steadicam grip, if I had to guess, with controls for zoom and focus and whatever the hell that might be. What those blue things are, I can't tell 100%. I want to see a closer view of his.
If you want, I really hope you go watch it, because I don't want it to bomb.
It's on screen. So guys, please go watch. He has a. Kind of like the making with behind the scenes footage of the day on screen tested. So please watch that video. After you watch this one, we'll give another shout out to it at the end.
Because I go through.
Shad, your channel is dying. You should have been the one to film a fucking behind the scenes. you should have done that. unironically, I know I don't like your content, but your fucking dumb fuck fans love it. You're giving away content while your fucking channel is dying. Oh, it's not the high effort content we like. Yeah, well, start splitting your high effort content into two different things, okay? If you start doing I'll save your channel for you. If you start doing behind the scenes, what it's really like to film a sword fight. Could you, dumb fuck, isn't that Shadiversity content? Do I have to manage your channel for you? The real difficulties of filming a sword fight. There you go. It's 2 hours maybe. You know what I mean? And then you can do the full extended footage. Like, oh yeah, this is cut into blocks, whatever the fuck. You just turn the camera on and start putting shit from the camera on the fucking page. Your fucking uploads are too low.
All of the cinematography stuff, and I'm giving advice specifically to people who want to make their own fight scenes because it's stuff that you wouldn't know.
Do the twats that do commentary on ever try to claim your videos? Only fucking Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh is religious about it. Matt Walsh will always claim your videos if you do commentary on it. Pretty much nobody else does.
If you've never done this before, and I really want fight scenes to be better, especially people on the internet. And there's a lot of criticisms that people have, but it's very easy to fix.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
And the thing is, the camera work is so important for the pacing of a fight. And I think it's done really well in this one with your work, right? And a lot of people aren't really aware
Should we get into it? Because there's some stuff right off the bat that I can explain to you guys that you'll notice, and once you see it, you'll understand.
Yes, but I'm happy for this video to take its time because I want to go through everything. This is a full commentary on many things. There's a couple of other things I want to comment on that we were able to achieve that mainstream can't do. And it goes back to one of the things founded on the fact that because we're both swordsmen and we're very proficient with them, we were, again, able to land those sequences much quicker and more convincingly with a very quick thing, and we're able to choreograph it together on the day as we were doing it, which was brilliant.
You look like a sweaty hog swinging a stick like a fucking goober. Even if that was perfect choreography in your mind, you didn't put it on film in a way that mattered. So Hollywood can do that. Also, if you go back to black and white era Hollywood and old swashbuckle pictures, they used to do this infinitely better with people that were professional fencers. Like Errol Flynn could fence, as I recall. I don't think I'm wrong about that. Errol Flynn could fence at a high level. Ching, ching, pam, pam, and win. That's why they were so good at faking it, because they were professional grade fighters with swords. They're really good. In Hollywood, almost all the people that do the fucking sword fighting stunts as companies, sword fighting stunt companies, almost all of those people can fight at a professional level, or at least sub-professional, maybe not like to the Olympics, but if you took them out, they could do fucking sabers. Why? Because a lot of them start as professional fighters that then go into consulting, which is what that is. That's how they get into stunt work. They were in shape, talented individuals with a specific ability to do a unique thing that Hollywood needs, and then they transferred it over. If you think the gunfights in Hollywood look bad because like the director is like, not paying enough attention. Yeah, the guy that's the instructor that might be a fucking like a former Marine infantryman or some old Navy SEAL guy, they could probably fucking scrap. You understand that? They can do it. There's reasons that it doesn't get put on film. There's reasons it doesn't get put on film. Many, 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 many of them. Sometimes it's just really hot to put your fucking helmet on and dance around in the sun for 2 hours. And sometimes people just don't give a fuck. Because I'll tell you right now, all the effort that you used was wasted. I would have taken 3 fucking blue-haired, transgender, NYCU fucking mid-tier film grad students, undergrad students, and put them on the camera and let them do the most DEI shit that came to their fucking minds, and they would have still made a more competent product than your wackadoo than this. And I don't even know what the fuck decisions they would make, because I can't predict what people's behavior is going to actually be by their appearance. But yeah, you wasted it. You wasted the effort because you didn't put the fucking camera on the tripod and then focus it and point it in a direction where I can see the quality. That's the point of filmmaking. You make the film. Make the film that I watch, and then when I see it, I say, "Oh, that's good," or "Oh, that's pretty good," or "Hey, that's pretty bad." Actually, sounded kind of like items. Hey, that's pretty good. In my mind.
Then we're able to do a couple of other things that, unless you have years of practice and with a sword, actors, they're not going to be able to pull it off. The second thing we were able to do, we were able to, what's the right word? Improvise. Freeform. We did some freeform exchanges without any practice, just to try and get some real kind of reactions and stuff. And we'll show you where that freeform is in the stuff. And some of it, I was shocked at how well it turned out.
Keep in mind, there's a caveat to that. Yeah. Me and Shad have never done freeform like that. Like, me and Shad have sparred, which is not the same thing at all. Me and Nate used to do kind of stage stuff, which is why we've been able to do previous things. Me and Shad have never done that before, so that was unexpected.
But it worked out great.
It worked out
and some of the sequences we got from that, I was really surprised with. Thing is, though, we don't necessarily recommend people try to do that, because if you're going to try and do that, one, both partners need to be very proficient in the sword, and two, they need to trust each other almost explicitly. Because in freeform, we at times doing pretty, aggressive, strikes.
We're also using real steel, which was not the plan.
I want to talk about the fact that throughout this entire fight, we're using full weighted steel swords, which is interesting. We're going to comment on that and give you some more details about that.
Shad's excited about this one.
I am. There's a lot to comment on.
There is.
Okay, and so going back to
goddamn god tier bog standard Shadiversity and Shadiversity pawn interaction. Shad had a lot of ideas, and they were old ass, but I can't say that out loud. Exasperation and being talked over on one side, and exuberance and completely ignoring the concerns from the other side while doing incessant, consistent amounts of sweeping and repeating the same detail again and again. Look at his face. He might just be stuck in the middle of two expressions, but the amount of did you see when Shadiversity is talking to anyone that had to work with him for more than 5 minutes? Is amazing.
Back to that trust, all right? There were multiple times, because there were times that we did actually miss a mark, or there was a slip, or someone was a bit too slow on the block, or someone was too fast on the attack, and the sword wasn't there to stop it.
There's only the two of you.
And multiple times, both of us had the control where we stopped it. Yes. And we had the control and proficiency to be safe. We're going pretty hard, and we were on the ball enough. And again, it's one of those times where I look back, and I can look back with a sense of pride in the achievement, because we achieved something that's actually quite difficult to do. And the fact that we did not have a single injury, and we actually proved in practice that we had the level of proficiency that each time we could see, this is out of measure, or it's a miss, or the block isn't coming in. And every time we pulled and stopped those blades before we hit each other. And I'm not saying that accidents might not happen in the future when doing that, but we had the level of proficiency to do it safely, even when doing pretty risky stuff with full steel swords.
And I do want to say this, a little bit of I don't think this is perfect. I think there's a lot of things that could have been done better. But I do think that this does have a level of
Shad is the airing party in both of those examples.
Really
I would say
now, I do want to add a context to that is, for me personally, the gold standard would be like Adria stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like they do, from the sword fighting, the technical aspect, all the way to the cinematography, everything. Brilliant. So I look at them as kind of the gold standard. Everybody else is kind of just vying for second place type stuff. So I just want to add that in there. Like, we are not perfect. This was not 100% perfect. I do think we could have gotten something even better if we just had a little bit more time.
A little bit more time. And the other thing...
I think that's what annoys me. It's like, really? We could have just gotten it so much better.
The other thing that needs to be mentioned is my chronic fatigue. Okay? People don't really understand how much I struggle with this in between filming and behind the scenes. And so that was a battle. Yeah. And what had to happen is that...
How does he have chronic fatigue, but it doesn't hit him when he's running his fucking mouth for like an hour and a half about some stupid shit? How chronic is the fatigue? Why, of all things, God in heaven, answer me. If you were to strike this man with the chronic fatigue that prevents him from doing all the things that would embarrass him, why did you not also strike this man with the chronic fatigue that would make him occasionally shut the fuck up? When am I going to get the answer to that? Because every Shadiversity video is fucking an hour and a half long and has a bunch of goddamn cuts in it. Why? How do you manage to talk forever? Are all the cuts you taking up? Fucking restarting your whole fucking engine like again and again? Or are you a little full of shit? I think he's full of shit. Personally, I think he's full of shit. I've looked up the chronic fatigue and stuff. The actual people that have chronic fatigue, it's like debilitating, like truly debilitating. Like they can't eat and shit. Like they're like, it's like your fucking body's like half dead until you die. Like you're like half in the grave. Like, fucking bump, going down and shit. You know what I mean? They can't stand up. They can't walk anywhere. Somehow my man's got chronic fatigue and he can put on plates and move. It just sounds like endurance to me. That's chronic endurance shortcoming is what it sounds like. And then all the rest of the things where people are like, no, he's got all these issues. He's got all these issues. They're all fat guy problems. And guy that doesn't move around a lot problems. Like, yeah, he gets like fucking chest pains when he has to move a bit. Like, that might be his fucking heart getting ready to detonate from all the tendies. Now he's got sleep apnea. Yeah, of course he's got sleep apnea. The dude's fucking neck is as thick as a goddamn log. Yeah, imagine trying to fucking breathe through that every goddamn night. Of course he's got sleep apnea. He got fucking 25 pounds of tit on his chest. and another 2 pounds of fucking goiter on his throat. Like, of course he's got sleep. He's fucking suffocating to death in a fat suit of his own making. Of course he's got fucking sleep apnea. Does he drink too? He's a little red-faced here and there. Yeah. That's how you get fucking sleep apnea. Put the fucking PAP machine, or the fucking, the iPap machine. I can't remember the fucking, and then you don't have to worry about the fucking sleep apnea anymore. God fucking damn. You're not bullshitting me. You're not bullshitting me. All right? I know there's a lot of fucking chunky people that, you know, like, yeah, you go to the fucking doctor's office and he's like, well, you try losing like 10, 15 pounds. I understand that that's fucking irritating. But sometimes when the disease is, for some reason, I can't sword fight or move around a lot when I'm trying to exercise. I just have like literally next to no endurance. And then they look at you and you're fucking fat as shit. It might just be time to fucking exercise more. If that's your issue. Yeah, if you go in there and you're like, yeah, I can't, my fucking left eye doesn't seem to work and I can't focus it. Okay, yeah, if they tell you lose 20 pounds, that's probably fucking, that they're probably being fucking dicks, okay? You go in there to the fucking doctor's office, you're like, my fucking left arm just gave up yesterday, but sometimes it comes back. If they tell you to lose 25 pounds, yeah, fuck that. But if you go to the fucking doctor's office and you're like, damn, I just keep running out of breath when I walk and I can't sword fight for more than 5 minutes without feeling like I'm going to pass out. If they tell you to lose 50 pounds, they're probably telling you to lose 50 pounds because if 50 pounds are getting in the way, you fucking moving around. I don't know how to fucking break that down for you. The possibility that he's got some sort of chronic disease and the possibility that he's just a fat fuck that's being disingenuous so he doesn't have to lose weight, I'm going to lean into Shadiversity is lazy and self-sweeping. until I get proven the fuck otherwise. I looked it up because people keep telling me like he's got 15,000 diseases. All of his diseases are the things that happen to you when you hit 40 and you're not fucking ever exercising. you got sleep apnea and chest pains as a fat fuck for fucking 40 years? Okay. Well, it's a modern mystery, a marvel of science that happened. I can't, you can't walk very far without breaking into a sweat? Do you find when you eat that people are weirded out by how much you're breathing? Okay, might be a fat fuck problem. It's fine. Just don't try to bullshit me about it. Don't be the guy that's getting, if you're just going to be this in real life, I don't care. Go be fat as fuck. That's your privilege as a person that didn't ask to be alive on this earth. Go be fat. Enjoy the privileges and deficits that come with it. Go be fat. Be fat, be happy. Don't be hard on yourself. But if you're going to be a guy that's in a fucking field that athleticism is a necessary component of, and then you're a fat dude who is trying to convince me that you have chronic disease that keeps you big and fat, but also is giving you like permanent fatigue and just fuck off with this bullshit. I refuse to accept it. I want to see a full fucking diagnosis. I want to see him run the PFT. If I can tell you're not walking, you waddle. This is a Bill Burr. Don't try to tell me you got a permanent disability. I can see you waddling. What kind of chronic fatigue makes you walk like a fucking pregnant penguin? Tell me that one. He told me he was going to sword fight. I thought he had a toothpick for an exercise bucket at KFC. What is this guy trying to convince me of? God damn, dude. It's fine. Being fat is okay from a moral standpoint, all right? You should try to avoid it from a health standpoint. Some of you guys can't, some of you won't. Don't care, all right? Don't be fucking mean to people just because they're fat. But if somebody's fat and also fucking self-sweeping because they don't want to prove how fucking much of a charlatan they are in the fucking field of battle, you know, how do you get proficient at a sword fighting while you have the chronic fatigue? Because I like the chronic fatigue people have reached out to me. All right, they made me look it up. I'm hammering this home because I'm sick of fucking hearing it. And they're like, yeah, picking up a pen can be difficult. What? Like, yeah, they can't carry their groceries and stuff. Their body is fucking like wrecked. You know what I mean? Like, and there's nothing that can be done about it. They have like a wasting illness. Like they're falling apart. How are you practicing your swords? How did you get proficient if you've had the fucking fatigue? How do you equate those two? What, did you just imagine that you did it right? Like, how do you practice? You know what I mean? Like, if you're like, oh yeah, dude, I know a lot of fucking, I'm very proficient at baseball, but I can't see you run the bases is fucking nuts. Like, oh dude, I know all the techniques of sliding into first. I know the best way to steal bases to second. You do? Can I see you do it? No, I have chronic fatigue. Like, why is there no standard being fucking placed on this guy by his fucking fans for this bullshit? I can't look at it and not say, like, what in the, why? Why are we even accepting that? I refuse to accept it as an he does have a permanent illness. Okay. Yeah, it's called fucking being a fucking liar. That's what it is. It's the one thing he's not fucking, not being duplicitous about is his chronic disease that lets him not have to go to gym class with the rest of the kids. Fucking Jesus Christ.
We're going pretty aggressively, and so in between a lot of these exchanges, I needed to pause and recover. And by the way, it's like 2 weeks since we filmed, and I am only just starting.
Look at all of them. With all due respect, you guys are a bunch of fucking slop bodies. It's okay. You have little hobbies. You're just a bunch of fucking guys approaching middle age. You like a beer. Just be honest about it. If I found any 3 assholes from fucking Boston, they would look the exact same as you, but I don't think they would sweep as much. I gotta fucking sit down. I'm a bit of a fat fuck. I don't mind. My wife feeds me good. You know, fucking sit down, have a rest. Jesus fucking Christ.
Starting to recover from that. This thing killed me. Yeah. And I wish, I hope that I can still try and work through my physical therapy to get past it and try and, I'm so happy with the results. I'd like to try and see if we could do something even better. If we had more time and my fitness was better, we could do something even better.
I don't blame you for not having enough time. That was not your fault. Yeah. I get that. It's just one of those things where, because we got so hot, because of all the weather and stuff
we're running out gear.
It got to the point by the end of the day, I was like done. Like I couldn't do any more at that point. So this is the problem I've had with all of the short film stuff I've done.
Fatigue.
Usually only have a day because of weather, stuff like that. And it's just, it really isn't enough time. It's just not enough time.
Yeah. And that's why having a set that has controlled conditions, controlled lighting, you can then do it over multiple days. Yeah. And if we want to do this a second day, one, it'll take 2 weeks for me to recover. And then we will need a day with some lighting and then go through the process to set it all up again. Now, the way my chronic fatigue works is that when I have enough rest, I have a portion of energy that I can devote to something and even push myself much further than what I should probably, safely do with my health. And then I'm dead. And there's a thing called post-exertional malaise where it takes ages to recover. But I had so much fun and I'm so happy with it. I was like, I wanted to do it at least once.
Bro, that's called getting you tired. This motherfucker gonna talk that much shit to people with fucking the DEI, fucking, oh, you got all this psych shit, blah, 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 blah. Then I gotta hear you trying to fucking science talk your way through. You get tired. And then when you get too tired, you get sleepy and grumpy. Is that what it is? You get post-exertional malaise. You got tired and cranky? Is that what it is? Did you get a little sad? You got tired and sad? Damn, son. You know what that is called? Fucking exercise. You got exercise. Is what that is. You got exercise and now you feel tired. This motherfucker just described having a gas tank. If you know anything about aerobic exercise, it's a gas tank, your endurance, right? He's like, when I rest, I can go for a bit, yeah, okay. And then I get a little tired, yeah, that's called momentary exertion. You have momentary exertion. Momentary exertion, exhaustion, or whatever the fuck. Actual side, you Yeah, because that's called, you did a set. You did a set of exercise. Now you're going to be temporarily tired. I'll take a rest, temporarily tired. Then you get back up and do more stuff. I'll get back up and do more stuff. And then once you do a few sets, you get too tired to continue on, right? I do. It's called a fatigue period. If there's breaks in the fatigue, it's not chronic. It's just, you have no endurance. You're describing exercise and being depressed when you're fighting, like post-exercise exhaustion. None of this was a new thing. This is just, so the way my body works is I do stuff and I get tired, okay? And then I'll rest and then I'll do it again. And then when I'm done, I have to rest really for quite a long time. I can't do that. Fucking disintegrated in my head. And then, yeah. And then you sleep for the day. Yeah. And the next day, I'm very sore. You got muscle fatigue. You're a little tired the next day. For the next 2 days, I feel like I can't do anything. Yeah, because your first time you've done anything in fucking months. Oh my God, dude. No. The Fitness Gram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test.
Once, and I'd like to do it again if possible. Okay, so we've talked about a lot already. I want to talk about the
It's going to be a long video.
It's going to be a long video. There's so much to talk about. Yeah. Well, look, this is a bit indulgent, but I think you guys will find this interesting as well. So we did something that I don't think...
Yeah, what is this fucking DEI that's going on here? If this guy has some sort of fucking chronic disease that's taking forever, you're really dragging your people down, all right? If you fucking get out of here. That's the inclusion aspect of the DEI.
Any mainstream film production would ever risk doing, and that's using real steel, fully weighted swords in the fight, in the choreography.
Yes. It's a lot better because you have real steel. You can do it. Feels a lot better, looks a lot better, sounds a lot better.
The sounds were gorgeous because of those swords.
To be fair,
he explained it like Vosh. I don't know if you know this, but doing exertion causes you to be tired. I
did do most of the sound design. Like I redid it anyway, but you have a good base to work off. That's the important part. We use steel, and we probably weren't as safe as we could have been. But this also kind of carries over because we weren't wearing like gauntlets or gloves. It means that we didn't do any hand shots, which is a bit unrealistic. So something like that is a criticism I would have for it. Was like,
where we don't aim for the hands.
Yeah, like stuff like that. But wearing gauntlets or gloves out in that with that on that day would have just been no. I'm good.
Yeah. Now this is one of the swords that we use. This is a trainer, and it's one of the best trainers. We have a behind-the-scenes video if you want more details on these swords. Thing is though, this is actually a safer steel sword, blunt one, because it's made to be very thin at the top, which means much less mass, and a blunted tip, very flexible.
It's very similar to a feta, except it's a proper longsword.
Yeah, and it looks gorgeous on film. And
it does have a flared tip, but that flared tip is still not like it wouldn't be considered safe. You would still need to put like a rubber tip on that.
And so we chose to use steel because we couldn't get aluminium. We
just couldn't get it in time. And making them is like making a sword from scratch. Like I did not have time.
And the type of LARP ones that we have, they're too floppy. They're like. This one actually was used for the Shadow of the Conqueror short film.
But this is a fantasy weapon.
But this is made to not be, it doesn't barely flex, it's much stiffer. And so even safer film ones are made to be stiffer than your average LARP one, which is made to be very safe. And as a result, it just would not look convincing on film. It just wouldn't look good if we used the LARP ones we have.
He doesn't know what Foley is. The Foley was not great.
And so the steel ones looked great. They sounded great. The thing is though, like, and I think this is another point where I look back and I'm pretty pleased with it, is that these are full weighted swords.
Yeah.
We did this, full blown 2 hours straight, and we got the footage and we're able to do it, and with fully weighted ones. Again, avoiding injury and doing it as well, okay, is something that I was impressed with, that we were able to pull off, and that we had the proficiency and confidence to be able to use that in a safe way and still achieve the results.
Shad likes a flared tip. Showing off that flared tip.
I don't see many actors, unless they are actual trained swordsmen, who could pull that off.
Well, usually in stage and film, I think I've mentioned this a couple times, they usually use something like an aluminum blade because it's a lot lighter, it's a lot safer, and they don't do a lot of thrusts because of that. We did some thrusts. Did we do enough thrusts? Kinda.
We're going to show some of the thrusts, and there's one sequence where I thought, like, holy crap, that turned out so much better than I was expecting, because the way that you do it safely, well, we'll show you in the review, because it's where you aim, it's the camera angle, and multiple things. And so... yeah, that's the all like a prelim that I wanted to go through.
20 minutes.
But there's still more. Now we're going to get into the video. And just rounding off on the steel sword things, actors have mentioned even using the light props on set. I remember the guy who played Morpheus in the Matrix films. He uses a katana in the second Matrix film. He said that his arms were knackered using this prop because he hadn't trained with it, and he had to really work with it. And even then, he was still exhausting. I was like, I think about that when I was like, man, try and do it with a fully weighted steel sword. Because by the way, these ones, 1.4 kilos, which is on the it's medium, but yeah, it's not like the lighter type of longsword. So all right, now let's dive into the video. Now the first shot. is something I'm happy with. I think it turned out right.
It did. You're lucky you got this shot, to be honest.
Why?
Because I've needed shots like this for the Epic Adventure Quest movie.
Oh.
And every time I go out there, I keep forgetting. And this was at the end of the day, and I took like 3 frames. And so we're lucky we have this, to be honest. CGI is something that I'll...
Shad has 5 kids. He's thrusted enough. Yeah, 5 times. Sometimes when I swing a sword for 2 hours with lots of lunges, makes my limbs debilitatingly sore for a couple days. Yeah, he's got DOMS. Thank you. DOMS is what I meant to say. DOMS is that soreness that you get after you work out. There's nothing you can do about it, really, just other than exist or do something that you feel makes it therapeutic. I'm about to get DOMS like a motherfucker here soon when I get back to the gym.
Touch on very quickly. I think it's better to do simple CGI really well, composite it well, rather than try and do something complex that looks like trash. That's just my opinion on it. A lot of this you'll see simple, but well done CGI.
Yeah, you see the kind of dragon silhouettes flying in the background. So this castle backdrop, made with AI. It's such a brilliant tool. It wasn't just a type in prompt and get
Yeah,
it.
we know, man. We can all tell. You didn't have to reveal that. We can tell this looks like shit.
I had to spend several hours to upscale it, get it the right angle, get the right lighting and everything like that. And this was off of a high...
The fucking AI didn't get it to the right lighting or the right scale. It looks uncanny as fuck. The Teletubbies set looks better than this. I imagine a gigantic baby's about to come back up over here.
Okay, image still of this angle, and then composited together. You know, I think it looks great. Like, it's probably a bit too still for, you know, but for, like, I've seen worse. You know, in films where they had to use painted backdrops and stuff like that. Yeah, matte paintings, right? This looks better than a matte painting.
It does, but it's the same sort of technique.
It is, yeah. Still sharp.
Oh no fucking way. I'm 17. There's no way we ever watched the entirety of this. Better than a matte painting. Okay. Star Wars matte painting. Images. Let me just show you. I'll just show you. All of these are paintings. These are what matte paintings look like. This is one. In Return of the Jedi 1983, a lot of the large-scale shots are actually matte paintings. This technique is used during Vader's arrival, shown below, and Luke's return to Dagobah, as well as other scenes in the movie. That's a painting. That's what he's talking. That's what he thinks the AI is better than. This matte painting. This is a guy making one of these. Look, this is this guy making this one over here. Hold on. Let's see if we can. Look, this is what this guy is saying aren't as good. And you can recognize, I think this is fucking, is that Neverending Story that I'm looking at right there? Oh, it says Empire Strikes Back. Oh, that must be Hoth. Matte paintings, all of that, fake. Matte painting. This stuff. And like these guys do fucking design shit too. This is insane. Like some of these are fucking so big that you can stand in front of them at times. This is what this guy thinks is better. Better than or not as good as his fucking AI. Oh, they look just as good. See, like this is from the modern Star Wars, right? I believe. So you draw all this, and then you get to land in it, and then this is the set that they walk in, and you set all of this behind it, then you just merge the two. It's like all kinds of mathematics and stuff. How? This, one of the most famous ones. I knew somebody had this as a poster. This is just the Hutt Palace. Jabba the Hutt's palace. And it's just a fucking gigantic painting. Somebody has this in their house. You know what I mean? This. All of these things. This is the one before. This is how they merge it together, right? So you have the Millennium. Oh no, I think this is actually Space Sky City or whatever. So you have this miniature stuff, and then all these things. This is the set that they can walk on. You walk up to the miniature, or even the set Millennium Falcon. Then you have this behind it, and then you add some little effects in post to make it look alive. That's how you do movies. The absolute lack of respect and the self. Is this Gondor? I can't even see. Behance. Oh, is this some fucking image shit? The thing is like you can probably even find stolen fucking AI matte paintings that would look even better. There's probably like stock ones. That first off, that just looks like shit in general. It just looks bad. You know, like look at that 1970s fucking BBC production of Doctor Who grade ass. Like we threw this together in a fucking day. It's still not even rising to that level because I didn't see anybody fucking walk through it. The one on the Doctor Who show, you'd be able to walk through the damn thing. Cloud City on the planet Bespin. Thank you.
Shot. All right, so
They just said they know what a matte painting is. That's the thing.
On this part.
You mean you think he just said the words and he doesn't understand what they are? But they said, yeah, it's better than a matte painting.
Is the helmet? I have that. We forgot to grab.
We spoke about it in the morning, and I thought we agreed. I'm like, yeah, bring your helmet. And then when you got out there, I'm like, you don't have your helmet? Anyway, this was a helmet that I brought for a different shot entirely, but it
suited my armor.
It's fine, it works. Except the nose.
Yeah, there's just the nose is sticking out.
There's literally nothing we could have done about that.
Yeah, you could have. Just paint his nose black. I'm not even kidding. I'm literally not even kidding. You could have fixed all you had to do. So this is how do you make movies, okay? The color black can get even darker. The color white can get even lighter. When you add contrast to stuff, you can do it. So this is called like, you can do it in post, but you can also do it in makeup. If the camera doesn't have information to pick up, it won't pick up the information. So if you paint his eyes, nose, and mouth black, it will look black if you have the fucking shadow over it. And it will look just like a deep, full-bore shadow if you fucking angle the camera the right way. That if you've ever seen the movie Batman, have you noticed you don't see the skin around his eyes, right? Or sometimes even the nose. Like, do you know why that is? Fucking paint black fucking makeup, face paint, whatever you want to call it. If you want to say it's not gay, just paint his fucking nose black and put black powder on it to eat the shine. If you even have to worry about that. And then it's black. And then if you throw it into fucking After Effects or like anything, if you contrast it up, it'll be even better. And then you can just fucking like literally have your post guy whomp right there. Follow it. Like that shine, follow that. Turn it dark. And then it'll look like just the helmet is just completely empty. It's that fucking easy. This color would be all of this.
All right, so this next shot. I wish I was told. Like,
I don't know what.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
This is a Nate problem as well.
It wouldn't have been a problem if I was told. Like, I can't see myself in armor, and so I was like, all right, I'm a warrior. I'm approaching a duel. So I thought walking with confidence would be appropriate, but I couldn't see if it looked decently to me.
It's like approaching Conor McGregor.
I know this looks good. I feel like I'm walking goofily here. I couldn't see it, and so
fucking are walking goofy as shit. I appreciate a man who makes his living on camera and doesn't know what he looks like walking around. It's fucking awesome. Oh my god.
And so I would have happily have changed it.
The problem is you did a first take, and then this is
or put a piece of tape, pantyhose on the inside of it so you can still see through it. A lot of different things. Like that's what art is knowing how to fix the problem, not just being mad that the problem exists and fucking, you know what I mean?
second take. In the second take, you're like, I'm going to walk a little bit more like that. And when I looked at both takes, they're exactly...
Shad doesn't know about watching dailies, dude. We're beyond. Dailies are like the day-to-day shots, right? So like, okay, you have a shot list, right? Big board, bump, all these. You know how in a movie you have cuts, right? It goes pot, chot, like that. Each one of those is what you call a shot, right? Sometimes those cuts are made of the same shot. Sometimes they're made of different ones. But you have to get all of those shots. You get all the storyboards. You take chunks of them, right? So you got everything except for this, everything except for that, everything except for that. Think of a good one. Fight Club. You know the movie Fight Club, right? Big end scene. You have Ed Norton as the narrator on a chair. Tyler Durden's there. And he's like, oh, and he's going to put the gun in his mouth, right? And then he shoots through his cheek, okay? And then after that, you have him talking to Helena Bonham Carter, and they're watching the city explode outside. That's a series of shots, okay? So there's the shot of them together at the end. Pixies play, but where is my mind? Where is my mind? That, all those buildings are falling down. The buildings falling down is a SFX shot that's going to be entered in post. More than likely. I don't think they're practical, even with miniatures. The shot, very famously, if you watch the behind the scenes for Fight Club, as I have when I was a kid, maybe 15, 20 times. I'm not even kidding. That, like, literally not an exaggeration. I loved Fight Club so much, I would watch it with I would watch it like I'm hanging out with Brad Pitt and fucking Edward Norton and the director. One of my favorite directors, 6, fucking Fight Club, escapes me immediately. But David, stop saying Brain, stop saying Eli Roth. I don't know. Somebody will tell me. Somebody will tell me probably. The scenes before it, him and Brad Pitt before it, a few shots, him talking to Brad Pitt, don't do it. Don't do it. And then he's, you know what I'm saying? And then the gunshot, which is like 4 shots together. Okay. And it's him having air blown into his mouth, the same way that they blow the air into your eye to check your fucking glaucoma thing. David Fincher, thank you. God damn it. Just literally right out the back of my fucking head. And it makes his cheeks do the, right? It's that plus a light, right? And then they have another shot of that with him having the jaw shot out from the side of his leg, and then he's, all of those different things are shots, and they all happen at completely different times. There's another shot that's a part of that exact same scene, but it's from the beginning, but it was shot at the same time because they had him in the close-up fucking, what do you call that? Detail cam. So the very beginning, it's called Gray Matter. Fucking Dust Brothers, great soundtrack. I'm not even kidding. I fucking love that movie. The intro scene goes up and it's like, oh, these high detail shots of this thing, and then it's his face, and it's not CG. It's actually literally his face. It just looks unreal like that because they're using a very, very high detail macro focus lens and literally floating it up the top end of a gun over his face and then up and the whole thing, where it actually goes down like that because it's like coming out of his head, because the whole thing's about his brain. It's a whole thing. It's a whole big thing. It's very cool. All of those are different. They're shot, some of them on the same day, some of them at different times. Helena Bonham Carter doesn't even have to be on set, even though she's in that scene a little bit afterwards. She doesn't have to be on set except for the very last one. All of these things are done differently. The dailies come out so that you can see, okay, did he get that done? Did we get that shot? Did we have this? Okay, yeah. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 89, 10, 7, 2. If you're shooting with fucking Stanley Kubrick, 1,292 shots of fucking Shelley Duvall being chased up a fucking staircase. And then you double check them. You're like, okay, cool. We got him. We're pretty sure we're good. Awesome. And you send that shit up to the fucking production so the production knows that you're doing your goddamn job. The whole fucking kit and caboodle, there's more stuff than just that as it goes on, but that's how you get your shot list done. And that's also how you make sure that you're fucking double checking. It's easier. They were way more important back in the day because you have to go and get them fucking developed so that you knew that you got the shots, because you might have fucked your camera up or there's a big fucking like a fly on the lens for the entire time, and the big action shot and the fucking Ben-Hur, chariot race that cost $10 million, which is why you would have 5 or 6 cameras sometimes for these action shots, and they fucking all running side by side so that if any camera goes down, somebody gets the fucking shot. Because sometimes you only have, especially if there's like an explosion, like one time to get it. But ultimately nowadays you have monitoring and you have instant replay because you don't have to develop shit. That's why they had VHS shooting in parallel with film back in the day. The second VHS popped up, I think it might have actually been George Lucas, but don't quote me on that. They fucking literally just fucking bolted a VHS player to the side of a VHS tape recorder to the side of the actual full bore, big boy, fucking 35 millimeter cinescope, whatever the fuck. They had those right next to each other. And that way they could watch back on the VHS to see what the actual scene looked like on film. Because you aren't, what you see with your eyes when they practice isn't what everyone's going to see. You have to trust the equipment and you have to know the equipment. So you got to be like looking at your fucking histogram, making sure your histogram's even or blown out in the right way. You got to make sure that your fucking film speed set right, ISO, everything. Get click, boom. Okay, are we going to have audio? Is audio running? We got to make sure that the audio is good. Do we get audio pickup for that scene? Are we going to need to do ADR? This whole, it's a very, very involved process. It's why it's very important that if you're going to do like stunts in the middle of it, you don't accidentally stab like an actor with a $12 million contract in the fucking eye with a fake sword. Whole big thing. And that comes back. But yeah, you should be watching back through this. This scene's shot like fucking ass, of course. I don't know what this decision is to have him trundling is the only way I can describe it.
Around.
Around.
Didn't change anything.
So, if we look back, there's things we would like to improve. All right, so these are just the close-up shots.
Tyler, my favorite movie in high school was The Boondock Saints, but I grew up to a real adult kind of vibe. I liked Boondock Saints, but I really liked Fight Club. I liked Fight Club for more than just the like vibes. Fight Club was like one of my things where like people would say, "What's your favorite movie? Is it Shawshank Redemption or Fight Club?" Because it's 2002, you know. And mine was Fight Club, but mine wasn't Fight Club because of just the like vibe and the message of the movie. Mine was because Fight Club was like magic to me. There was something completely different about that film that didn't exist in other films at the time. Like if you really watch it, I know people like to fucking like, you know, this is bad media criticism from lefties comment. Oh, that's a movie for disaffected youth to learn how to do violence instead of like, adults are speaking. Keep that to yourself. Do you remember the fucking speeches that are given? The Starbucks universe, the fucking IBM supernova. And you're listening to the him being crushed by the weight of his world. And it's him just staring into a paper basket. And that's supposed to be like this universal vibe. Like that shot's in it. All of the sneaking Tyler Durden into this and that, the very unbelievably well done balance of him actually literally performing every single action by himself in front of people and making sure all of the actors were on board, like watching with shock and awe because they all know the reveal that you don't know to the end of the movie, that this dude is blatantly beating the fuck out of himself and switching rapidly between two personalities, having whole ass conversations, acting erratically, but he's like God to them because he's just something that doesn't exist. The only thing in their world that can't be accounted for. And you're like, what it's about is guys fucking in a bathhouse. Like, what fucking Tumblr page did you read that off in 2010 there, fucking Professor Fuckstick? Do you not know what movies? Do you not know what fucking cinema is? You're trying to boil down David Fincher to fucking Joe Rogan level analysis? Shut the fuck up. Don't even fucking talk to me. I love that movie. I love it as a fucking artistic construction more than just like, oh, it's the vibes and stuff. It is unfathomably fucking good. Do you remember? Shut the fuck up. Fuck him. Do you remember the shots that are in that film? How good they are? The fucking terrorist actions, Project Mayhem. Do you remember how good of a fucking montage that is? Because the montage doesn't just feel like a montage, even though it is. It's a series of literal, perfect vignettes that show the entire character story behind people and how effective it is at showing, oh yeah, the background characters are real, which is the whole point. Project Mayhem doesn't end with me. All of these people are individuals. Just because they're not the main character in my story is the main character in my story doesn't mean they're going to go away. We're you. We're the ones that serve your food. We're the ones that pump your gas. We're the people that keep you safe at night. That's the whole point. The terror of the movie, if you want to see it as a horror film because you're part of the fucking capitalist over system, is it's not over because they're real. They bought it because it matters to them. The guy that starts a fight with his boss and gets his ass kicked and then ends up recruiting the guy. Fucking Bob getting shot in the back of the head and them all holding him up after this dude takes the fucking religion and moves on with it. Jared Leto all fucked up. His name was Robert Paulson. Fucking Project Mayhem blowing up that gigantic ball, and rolling it into a fucking Starbucks. It is one of the best made films ever. Just made. Just as an act of construction, it is so fucking above board. It defies the mind. Do you remember how good the blood effects are? Well, you don't know where I've been, Lou. You don't know where I've been. Fuck. God. I'm fucking Lou. Who the fuck are you? And then the background characters are always going on. They're coming back. You see them doing other shit at other times in other places. The whole movie is literally layered at any given time, and the background information can be as important as the foreground information. Because once he changes things, the people that were in the background before, do you remember you were in the office and you saw all those workers at those cubicles? As you progress into the movie, they stop being the workers in the cubicles. The people at the bar stop being the people at the bar. The people that you see in the background are no longer the people in the background. They are Project Mayhem. It gets bigger. And people don't even know how to see Fight Club like that. It blows my mind that people are like, it's just about violence. Little kids don't know it. You might not understand as a person that loves the movie why you love it or why it matters, but Fincher knew what he was doing. That movie is unfucking believable. It has not been met with an equivalent in modern time. It stands alone as its own specific thing. I can't say it's better or worse than like other properties. It's a pointless comparison. But when you arrive at the final bits of the film, moving into it, you know what I mean? Like, wow, goddamn, dude, he blew a fucking shot of light. They leave and then continue. The fucking world blows up. That's the point. Those little fucking film effects and stuff, the consistent callbacks that you might not have even thought of to the little tiny speeches. He was a waiter. He shot films at night. Those are, boom, cigarette burns in the top fucking corner of the film. That whole fucking thing repeats itself throughout the entirety of the film. Everything comes back again. Everything comes back. And like a film, you rewind it and watch it again. And it makes sense again the same time. It does the same effect again and again and again. Watch Fight Club again. I'm not even fucking kidding. Watch Fight Club again and try to focus on seeing as much of it as you can. Don't watch it to enjoy it. Watch it to try to pull it apart. And you'll see just how fucking organic that thing is. It is so meaty as a film. It is dense. It is heavy with like, it's got rewatch content is nuts. One of the things I still remember for no fucking reason that I love is David Fincher hating one part of the film. And he's like, I should have been more like on set for this. Like, what are you talking about? Like these fucking neo-Nazis, the fucking skinheads. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, look at him. And it's one of the cancer survivor things, right? Two of the people that are background characters are bald and they end up hugging. And for some reason, David Fincher finds that extraordinarily distracting and noticed it, I think, in like editing or whatever. He's like, God damn it, I should have kept that. But these two fucking skinheads just standing there hugging the entire time right behind the main character. And like, I don't look at it. I never noticed that when I started watching like the behind the scenes. But if you think about it, think about as a director what that means, that he notices that what you should learn as a viewer from how to parse his films, that detail layer behind the main character having a major conversation with somebody else is not just present, but poignant in his mind. He has been trying to tell stories in that layer, as well as the layer that you're seeing in front of you, the focus layer. In the back layer, he's telling another story as well, maybe even further behind there. And that errant bit is upsetting because he didn't mean to tell that way. That's fucking art, man. That's crazy. It's so fucking cerebral. It took me years after hearing that. It's stuck in my mind, what in the fuck is, why? A lot of people are like, wow, is there so at times you see fucking Tyler Durden, boop, he pops in there and stuff. Why? Because Tyler Durden's editing the film. He's editing it. He's making it. He's fucking with it on purpose. The him bopping in is the same as inserting the single frame of porn into a child film. I forget. Yet. If you fucking look that up, that scene in the movie, I just sung that song literally on tone. I swear to God. That fucking gets replayed soap stuff, everything. It all comes back again and again and again because once Project Mayhem is going, it is, back to the Starbucks thing. The big ball that the explosion sets off that destroys the artifice of capitalism. When they set the ball rolling on Project Mayhem with explosives and it ceaselessly goes forward. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you not realize it was a metaphor? They literally just set the ball rolling with bombs to blow up a Starbucks, destroy it with the, it's so on the nose, in your face, and if you don't notice to notice it, it's right past you, but it's that fucking good. Another one of my favorite things is just Fincher. I have not watched this behind the scenes since the mid-2000s, if not earlier, but I watched them this many times. Fincher giving props to one of the background extras when they're watching, yeah, whoa, and you say they did the smiley face on the side of the building with two bombs, and then fucking Norton's character's like, oh, what are you guys fucking proud of this and stuff? Before they do that, they're passing out beers, and the one guy, he throws a beer to the guy, and the guy catches it with one hand without looking and opens it. That's a real stunt that happened on set, and the dude did it in like the first or second take, and him grinning and like barely able to like hold on to like how happy he was. He was supposed to be like and like drink it like that, but him being stoked made it even better because he couldn't help being happy about it. And the more humanness of that emotion, they kept that instead of him being like drinking it. You know what I mean? Like these like hardened professionals. Instead, it's like, oh, these guys, but it still gets the vibe across. But the dude was just so happy that he fucking caught it in one shot without looking that they kept it in. That movie is fucking phenomenal. I will not hear fucking slander against. I will not hear slander against Fight Club from anybody. You better be coming hot. I'll fucking look everything back the fuck up too. I don't give a shit. Fuck. Oh yeah, were we like talking about? Okay, we'll watch the last 2 seconds of Shadiversity. What?
Knowing after the fact, in an actual intense fight, I could see this going down to trying to push back with leverage because it's an instinctive response, which is why I'm more forgiving of it. Now, this one, we're actually going to cut right, like in the official release, that's going to cut here because I missed the grab. But in the cut, it's going to look like at that moment is when I grab the sword, because then we're going to be cutting forward
A little bit faster.
to where I grab it here, right there. And so this is a really interesting grapple, okay? Because you can't pull your sword if you keep.
Okay, so let me just, if you're a sword fighting guy, do we half sword on a live edge with our bare hand? His fucking hand was fucking raw. Just half sorting here a little bit half sorting.
If you keep your hold of your sword, you can't pull it out because you hit my arm, and my arm is actually holding it in, and so the only way you could pull your sword out is by releasing your grip and getting out.
Yes, but I am positioned directly. My leg is directly behind yours. All I need to do is like,
push.
My hands straight back, and I'll go. Like this is like breaking it down.
But to me, this is believable.
Yeah, it's perfectly believable. Yeah.
And this actually ends up being a complex grapple where you're showing that you're trying, because one of the things that you do train in swordsmanship is don't let go of your sword. You don't want to be disarmed. And so I can see a real swordsman, right, in this position, just instinctually, don't let go of the sword, find leverage, get back, push, even though the way to get out of this grapple is to let go.
There's a couple of things here, because like I could let go one hand, or at least angle my blade and do a slice on the side of your thigh. There's an artery there. Things like this is all after the fact. In motion, I think it's fine.
And I think it's so because I'm leveraging down. And look, what's good about this, the sword does end up coming up and my armor protects me, so you wouldn't be able to hit me there. And I'm leveraging down to get the sword up through and then through your neck. Like that's the thing I'm going for. Again.
So now this breaks the 180 line, but it's like right at the end. It's the last shot. It's a bit slower. I think it's fine.
I think it works.
I guess we're talking about the breaking 180 now. That's probably the fucking comment they got the most. Other than it just looks like shit. I mean,
fine, especially because we don't have the budget to do like, visual effects to show the sword going through or decapitation.
This is one of those ones where we definitely need the camera angle, but the camera angle required for this.
Something happens that I was not expecting, and it sells it completely. Your hair gets pushed aside by the blade, or is it your angle of flinging back? Because look, that makes it look like the blade has gone through your head. I was not expecting that to. And Nathan is getting the angle perfectly because I was like, we were saying you need to show that I'm pulling it through the arms from above, and then you need to move back low. I can't believe how well we managed to get that shot.
Yeah.
And then
I just don't even. I think how many more times can I say you're wrong? Do I need to continue on? There's a million better ways to film that. obviously. If you had a bigger understanding of what you can and can't do with a camera, you could have saved yourself a lot of time for most of these. That's the other thing too. The wide action, like Jackie Chan style, Chinese style, big, highly complicated choreography, the like circus choreography, is not what you do if you don't want to practice first for a very long time. Like if you're trying to do chocolate, you guys ever seen chocolate, whatever the fuck it is, where the woman, the girl, I can't remember if she's like a teenager or an adult womanish, she just weaponizes autism, and it's like an autism free for all. I'm not even fucking kidding. It's one of the best martial arts movies ever, but you guys know about chocolate? Okay, we're done. Hope you enjoyed your time on the West Side.